Good afternoon, everyone. It's February the 2nd, 2024, Groundhog Day. And I sincerely hope that our furry friends there are all going to give us a good forecast that we're going to have an early spring. I know Wyerton Willie apparently has, because a nice early spring for all of us is going to be nice and refreshing, and especially those in the homeless that have to sleep outside. The warmer weather is going to be more than welcome at that point in time. But today I've got different things that I like to talk about, especially I want to go back to a bit on the housing and security issues. And this is going to be a hot topic. Again, we have the two different levels of housing that we've been talking about, affordable housing and definitely supportive housing. And a few nights ago, there was another report that came out that one of the areas in another ward, they were going to build more supportive housing. And of course, this is coming from the Shepherds in that area. The councillor, of course, is upset, like our councillor, because they don't seem to want to be responsible for the fact that this supportive housing that they have in the ward right now, that has been built even in the last year, is causing more drug trafficking and problems with the drugs, as well as the uptake in the crime rate in the area as well. And of course, the Shepherds, again, like in our area, they don't seem to want to be coming forward and telling us what they're going to do. So I know this is one reason why I know our particular part of the community association and on our committee, we're going to be looking at this more because of all the different problems. And I can see that they're going to have to start addressing it, because in our social housing right now, we're all trying to address these issues with the cameras have been starting to make somewhat of a difference. But as you can see, I did catch that man red-handed in the laundry room there with my laundry mayhem. We're still seeing a few. The cleaners are definitely trying to do the best since they've come in more often, but they're only getting an hour to come in, so they cannot always do a full cleanup. They really need a good 2 hours in this building at a time to do the job that they need to be done, because they only get about half the building done, depending on how much junk is actually deposited in the stairwells and that, and even just trying to wipe down the floors and the stairwells and keep them clean. But we all appreciate in the building, most of us tenants who have been here for years really do appreciate what they do, and they're trying to do their best. And definitely, again, I'm talking about security, because now we're looking at how do we tighten up security even in our social housing buildings, and how do we interact with our community partners as well. And this is what our community association is also looking at, is branching out to the various people who are renting in the area, apartment buildings, etc., and not just only the homeowners, because it's affecting all of us. So security in our area has always been a big problem. It's branching out now across the city, because of course these people that are coming out of the shelter here down on the Shepherds and branching out, they're coming from our ward. So now they're starting to have to deal with the situation that we're dealing with down here. So as I said, I wasn't lying about that. It is spreading and is coming across the city slowly. So we all need to come forward and address these various issues in that respect. But I know we're looking at how do we secure our buildings down here more. We're still at ground zero. We still have unwanted people coming and going in the building. We can't identify, and as soon as we open the door, they push their way in behind us still. I know I've got to the point, if I see a person that I don't recognize or figure he's just a homeless person trying to get in again, one door, I'll try and go in the other door and not let them in, period. Because they just do whatever they want. And this is one of the things that my parents and my grandfather told me, that it's wonderful that we have our freedoms. It was wonderful that we have the Charter of Rights, which I'll bring up in a roundabout way, and that last week it was, or federal courts decided that the convoy was quite legal. Well, that's fine to have all our rights and that, have them legal, but there's a problem. You have all these people that have these legal rights, and as my grandparents and my parents put it, you could overstep your bounds. Because you've got other people yes, you have a right to live, but there's other people that have a right to live too. And all these businesses, and I know I was somewhat affected with the convoy too. We all have our rights as well. So it's getting to the point where you pretty much have to, as my grandfather would say, you have to draw a line in the sand. And that's what I believe the federal government had to do, because there was just so much chaos. And it wasn't just here in Ottawa with the convoy. I mean, we had everybody blocking the provincial borders as well, and the borders to the states, and that wasn't right, because you were, again, affecting other people's lives that depended on the trade back and forth between the two countries. So again, I don't think that the federal government made the wrong decision in that, because a lot of us ended up suffering due to the fact that the goods in and out of the country were affected, and certainly down here we got affected. So this, again, is my opinion. I know there's lots of opinions out there. I'm only simply giving an opinion. I know people will not always agree with me, especially those that are on the other side of the line, and I'm on one side of the line. But sometimes you do have to draw a line in the sand. So, and I think this is the way our society is going, is we really are going to have to look at all our laws, what's going on in our society, how we're going to have to change society, because it's certainly changed over the years. I know being 71 now officially, I remember my parents telling me, oh my goodness, when they were children, when the steam engine came in, and the invention of the steam engine, well, that just seemed to shoot our security forward. Not just our security, but it seemed to shoot everything forward in our technology, rather, is what I was saying. And going through from the old washboard to see the old wringer washers, then the invention of the washing machines, which was just so great, everything that was supposed to help us. And I remember being 14 and definitely going to Expo 67, and that was Canada's 100th birthday, and looking at all what was supposed to be invented for years ahead, and seeing now, having the privilege of going through the 150th birthday, 2017, and here I've actually lived in the 20th century as well as the 21st century. So I can see where the technology is going. And when I look at the security for what's going to be here, we have our gated communities, we have the car thefts, all this the situation where we're trying to invent things so that people cannot steal our things. And they're just seem to be getting better and better, and the scams that are coming out. So our society is not the same society that was first brought up in the 20th century by any means, or any of us baby boomers that have had the privilege of living in two different centuries. We're seeing it all right now. But where is it all going to lead to? I can see technology coming up. I can see facial recognition, because of the problem of getting into a building. I can see things like possibility of coming up to a screen, pressing a button, and this AI robot talks to you. Oh, good afternoon, so-and-so, welcome home. And then this artificial person lets us in the door. We don't use a key. They just do it by facial recognition, or other ways, maybe a fingerprint, to get us in the door. But the facial recognition, I can see where they would have a camera to see if people are coming up behind us. So they may not let us in right away, but they may have like a double door kind of thing. And if they get in behind us, then they may not let us in. And even myself, and they will actually find out if they don't tell where they're going or anything to this artificial person, then they're going to be calling more security in to protect us. So I can see all kinds of things coming in the future. And when I look at many of the future science fiction movies and that, you wonder how much it's going to be true. Because I look back, and of course everybody's looking back on the good old cartoon, the Jetsons, and seeing what they thought of the future. And I'm looking at some of the old-fashioned cars, because I love history, so I get a lot of historical stuff coming in on my feed as well, which I really enjoy, because I can see what it was like. Just for an example, people were questioning, well, what is this? And it was a little invention. It plugged into the wall. You had two sides. You flipped them up, and they're wondering, what is it? Well, I knew right away because it was a toaster. It was an old-fashioned toaster, and that was before my mom and dad even got the flip-up toaster where you just pop it up, press it down, and of course it just pops up. So that was a great invention. We didn't have to worry so much about burning our toast. So that was a good thing that came in. But I just wanted to bring it up today that there's going to be a lot more looking at the housing, not only affordable housing, but our supportive housing as well. This is becoming a big topic as well right now. So, and plus our security. So I just wanted to remind people that we're in changing times right now, and they're big changing times. And another time, I think when I look at security, particularly, I go back to 2001 and 9/11. That shocked the world. Our innocence was shocked. We started building up our security slowly from there. So it wasn't like the beautiful security that I worked. You know, most people were honest. They helped you out. You could ask a question. Nobody asked why. You know, and just to make sure that everybody was safe. It was much more relaxed before 9/11. But 9/11 changed everything. So security-wise, now the homelessness and the drug addiction problems have definitely changed our world. So now we have a lot to look at and try and decide how are we going to best do this, and the shortage of people. So we're really in a big muddle right now, but I'm sure we're going to survive this, but it's going through that. And I know one person told me it was, yeah, there's always light at the end of the tunnel. Oh, I agree. I always say that too. But right now we're just going through the dark tunnel trying to find that light. So we have to change our ways. It's just the way society is going. And again, this is just my simple opinion. And everyone, again, be safe, watch your surroundings, and take care, and have a great day. And we shall talk to you again soon. And bye-bye.